Hi, hello, vanakkam, namaste, namaskara guys. So this is Nivedith, also known as Macro Traveler. So here I am talking about my life. I'm sure everyone's life is as equally important for them. But during the course of life, we actually start doing different things in life. So we start focusing on health, we start focusing on money, we start focusing on career. It all are different phases. Only when we have a problem, we want to fix it, right? So that is how it's been happening for everyone. Different phases during school, college, then maybe when you're a teenager, young professional, and then when you're in mid-30s, family person, then you go to 40s, 50s, then you become a senior citizen. So every phase, almost every decade, you have a situation or a problem. But for me, this is my birthday month. So November is when I was born and I'm going to turn 32. But like I said, I have been having an perennial problem since 20-25 years. So I obviously don't remember when I was a kid. But this has been an issue when I initially realized as a kid. I always have been body shamed because not that I was overweight, but I was on a little higher side, be it in school or maybe once I went to college. I was not the fittest one. I always was a little, maybe 10 kgs extra than the regular people, and I was a big foodie. Trust me. I still remember that right now it's 2020. I remember food as good as 98, I guess, because that's when I actually had my first pizza. So I was a big fan of junk food by then. In fact, as early as 2000, I used to crave for McDonald's, though it wasn't in Bangalore. That's where I am from. So I think it started only in 2004. But till then, I used to obviously eat other kinds of junk food. My meal wasn't complete without having a packet of chips, that to the local chips which you get, right? The potato chips. Every day, rice, one packet of chips which used to cost 5 rupees, 50 grams, then slowly moved to 100 grams, then 200 grams. So every meal, I had this addiction of having junk, everything fried. So I really didn't have control and I didn't bother because that gave me happiness. And that was not my priority. My priority was just to study and enjoy my childhood. Slowly came to college and I was still quite obese. I wasn't worried too much. I was doing okay in studies and things started picking up by the time I went to my graduation. That is where I found a new love to quiz fest. I started doing quite a lot of extracurricular activities. I think 10th standard is when I was quite active physically also till the age of almost 15. I wasn't the fittest, but I had the determination here. I had in fact completed my black belt just before my 10th exam. I had a black belt degree in karate. I also was playing basketball till the age of 14. In fact, state level I played for Karnataka, Bangalore, all of that. So for me, it is more like a drive to do things. So I was really happy and successful to do that. But something which I never thought would be an hindrance when I reach the age of 20 or 30 would be my weight. So that is something which has always been a concern to me. But I never gave that as the first priority or importance until now. So like I said, coming back to college, I was very active in other stuff. Then after college, I got a job. I moved into sales marketing. I was still having junk. I had really bad timings of food. In fact, I used to have breakfast at 11, 12, lunch at 3, 4, and dinner at 10, 11. I used to have junk food in the night. In fact, I had a night craving so badly that every day at 12 or 1 o'clock, I used to have really junk food. This continued and I started moving very well on corporate or professional career. I moved to something which was dear to me, which was into blogging, travel blogging. So for the last 5 years, I've been traveling for a living, and last 5 years, lifestyle has changed so much for me, especially with international travel. I travel for more than 300 days a year. So it's never been easy. So with all this kind of thing, I really gave this a backseat. I didn't even bother about my health until 2015. So 2015 is when I had touched 106 kgs, and I thought, okay, I need to do something. That's when I actually quit my job. I quit my job for two things: one, to travel; second, to get fit. Trust me, the first one picked up really well. I think I've traveled for more than 30 countries in the last 5 years. I've worked with the best of brands. I was invited to the Oscars, met celebrities. During my journey in the last 10 years, as one of the major things, I also had a shoulder dislocation 5 years back, and then something which used to happen very often to me was actually kidney stones. I at least had 7 to 8 kidney stone issues in the last decade. Quite often it used to even hamper my travel. That's how bad it used to be. With kidney stone pain, I've traveled even to the US. I still wasn't giving that much importance to health. Worked with more than 3,000 odd brands, earned really well, did everything. I've led a successful life which has made people envy by my professional work. But that is something which I really didn't bother, which was like a ticking bomb for me, was my health, because I didn't give that importance. Though I did have health issues in between figuring out that I need to get healthy. And 2015 I actually was invited to be part of an online digital series. Basically this was for Tata Tetley Green Tea.
Tetley Green Tea presents a brand new web series. Over 12 weeks, 19 contestants compete in a race to take charge of their lives. All united by one common mission: to go from fat to fighting fit. Ultimately, 2 survivors of the grueling program will get to walk home with a cash prize and a transformed body and life. This is the transformation,
which was doing like a campaign or like a promotion where they had 30 people from different walk of life, and me being a food and a lifestyle and a travel blogger was invited to be a part of it.
Hi, this is Nivedith. I'm 27 years old. I'm from Bangalore. Basically, I'm a social media guy. So there are 2 things to it. I have a professional life and a personal life. So professional life, I'm working for a brand called Sikkim Manipal University, which is Manipal Group. I handle this social media marketing. I'm an marketing guy. But on a personal level, I've been pretty active on social media for the last 7-8 years as a blogger as well. So I've been reviewing tech blog. I've been doing food reviews. I've been a travel blogger as well. So I travel a lot. I like to travel. And on the social media thing, like you said, I love competitions. So I've been taking part in lots of competitions. I've been winning lots of stuff. In fact, recently I was a Vodafone Superfan. I was on TV. So yeah, for the IPL. And I also do lots of social media strategy for lots of brands. So this is basically a nutshell of what basically I am. So, to be honest, I'm around 110 kgs. So I would like to maybe come at least 5 to 10 kgs down and become a little more fit. I want to push one level more than what I've always been doing. So whatever it is for the money, if I want to do something, I'd like to do it the best. So that's what keeps me ticking.
So there were 30 people and I was just one of them. So what happened? Initially I was motivated. First 1 month was really nice. So we were part of an MMA training, mixed martial arts and all of that. So it was really tough. Got beaten with bamboo stick. I was 112 I guess by then, and from there I reached 106 in 1.5 months. I started getting slim, but like I said, determination wasn't that much. I guess I still wanted to travel. Mind was somewhere else, my heart was somewhere else. So I just pushed myself to a place where I could reach, and then things just recoiled. So that is where from 112 to 106, and then I started again going out to my routine, eating junk, did every shit which I was doing earlier. And good thing is I actually wasn't drinking and smoking, but still I had this obesity issues. My family, parents especially, were quite worried because they were looking for a girl. They wanted me to get married, isn't it? So like every other family, typical Indian family. So I did obviously visit quite a lot of places. I honestly felt I was really successful professionally, so that shouldn't hamper the way I look, and people shouldn't judge people based on this looks, because looks are, health is important but looks aren't, right? So I do know how I used to look. Obviously obesity, people have their perception. Me coming from a traditional Tamilian South Indian family, so people wherever I went had a very different perception. People were like, okay, he is obese, that's all. They didn't even think twice before they had spoken to me and all of that. So that's how it continued. I really didn't bother because I was happy with my life. I was traveling, I was making money, I was leading the best of life, staying at the best of hotels, eating the best of food, meeting the best of people. Life king size, isn't it? So that's how things went, and finally 2018 is when, exactly 2 years from now, I got engaged. It was really another very different story and an experience. I was glad that I got my wife, Mrs. Macro Traveler. We met. She obviously saw things beyond my looks and everything, and saw me as a person and accepted me. And I think that is the biggest thing which ever happened. Like I said, I did go through this stuff. I also knew that these are all temporary, things can change, but I really didn't want to do for the sake of it, because that was not my priority till in my late 20s. So I wanted to achieve more things in my life, more success, everything else. I wanted to do really big things. This came through and I really fell in love, and yes, we got married. Though it was an arranged marriage, it was an arranged love marriage. That's how we got married. Glad it happened. When I got married also, yes, I had people saying before wedding, why don't you lose weight, try getting fit, try keto. I did try. When I actually got engaged, that's when I tried. I also lost. So by my engagement time in 2018, I had reached to 118, 120, and then I tried for 3 months, I guess. Second attempt of losing weight, I reached another 6 kgs I lost. So from 120 I came to 114, 112, but then kaboom, I reached a plateau. Again, I was busy with work life, wedding and all of that. I wanted to do it really different. Like you see, this is one of the creatives which we had it in the wedding. You can also see my wedding video on YouTube. Just search for Mr. and Mrs. Macro Traveler wedding. So this is what happened. I really didn't give it as much importance, or I wasn't as determined. I still gave it only 60-70% chance. It was all in my mind, right? And then I had a really nice married life. Fast forward to 2020 January. So from obviously last 1 year, extensive travel. I've traveled 2019 at least 7-8 countries and more than 300 odd days. Exhausted, but still loved that experience, the adrenaline rush. But I know my body was giving up somewhere. And finally, when January 2020, yes, that was one side where pandemic has already started unknowingly. The other side, which was also underlying to me, was my health issue. So this one story which actually motivated me is my dad had actually invited me fun run. So my dad is an IT person and he was CEO for lots of companies. He does consultation. So he is part of this group called CIO Club, and they in Bangalore had this walk for Republic Day as a health walk or a health run where you have to do 5 kilometers walk. This is what happened. First, I was honestly not keen or happy to go and be a part of it, but then I thought, why not give it a shot, since my whole family was going. So I went, and it was early morning. I had to get up. I really wasn't motivated to get up and do all this stuff, but then I did it. When I went there, I saw there were more than 200 odd people, lots of old people, young people. I also met this this one person. I didn't interact with him much. When I saw people talking about him, and then they introduced him to a guy, like as a person, I think in his late 40s or early 50s, who lost again around 40 to 45 kgs. It did pick me a bit, because I was like, if someone as old could do, and who was diabetic and then he became diabetic free with losing weight, someone who for me by 2018, though I wasn't diabetic, but I'm sure I was edging, I was pre-diabetic and I was edging towards other health issues. In just a few years, I was very much at the brim of diseases and health issues. That's when I thought, okay, let me see what can be done. I still just thought what can be done, but when we did the walk, 5 kilometers, 5k, took me I think almost 2 hours for me, and I was the last person to do it. 200 people, I was the last. I was panting, I was literally pushing myself. I literally gave up almost in middle. Even a kilometer was the toughest for me to do, and I didn't feel ashamed, but I did feel that always push myself to do things. Why isn't this a challenge which I've taken up and conquered? So that is where I was like, let's do this. Not for others, but for myself. And also, let me say you, I had time. So again, I come from a social background, like social media and influencers. So I did have lots of people, especially food bloggers and others, who have lost weight in the past. But when I used to ask tips, not everyone helped. People were honestly not very helpful. People were not giving their exact search to lose weight or do. But what I understood when I did my research is body is different. So you need to first understand your body and work towards it. The process is same. The results can be different. It's all based on an individual. That's all it is. So I did my research that day. But before doing that, I first made my mind. I said, okay, I've just finished walking. Just after we do the 5k walk, we had a proper breakfast arranged there. They had idli, vada, all kinds of South Indian delicacies. So I was like, let me start from right now. In fact, I have started from a minute before itself. So I am not going to eat this. So that day what I did, I just had rava. Basically rava upma. I didn't touch vada, which I'm a big fan. Idli no, dosa no, puri, oh my god, I'm a big fan of puri as well. So I stopped all of it from that main instant. I know it was tough. I was like, okay, I'm on second. I didn't want to proclaim myself that I'm starting today and I'm going to do it, because I have seen that most of the time when I claim to do something, it doesn't happen. So I want my work to talk. I was silent, but my mind, I had started grinding my mind so hard that I'm going to make it and make it happen in the way I have known for the most successful path. So that's how it started. This was on 26 January 2020, and that was the morning time. And for afternoon, what happened is I was being a social media blogger, influencer. I kept traveling extensively. I was also invited for Derby that day. So that was this Derby in Bangalore. So I went there. What I did is I made sure I have food at home. So I didn't have rice that day. I asked mom to make some millet. I first started measuring. I really didn't know where to start, but I thought, let me start reducing my portions little before I even start some research. So that's how it started. I started doing my research. Before that, when I went to the Derby, also again I saw lots of people out there well dressed, all of them looking really nice. I was like, I generally don't like dressing. I do obviously feel conscious of the way I look, right? I'm sure everyone who is obese, who is overweight, I was almost obese, third class with 126.6 kgs, triple XL size. So I was like, how do I do? I was kind of worried inside, but I was like, okay, let's start off slowly. Let's not keep a target. I didn't keep a target of weight. I just have to get fit so that I feel healthy from within and I have a healthy life. That is end of story. That day, I actually met a couple of gentlemen who are supposed to be my friends. So they actually had lost around 10-15 kgs if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure of the weight, but these guys actually did tell me that they were actually not tell me, they were kind of sly or being sarcastic, saying, we look fit, we are, even though we are food or lifestyle or whatever bloggers, but we know how to maintain our health, we have lost. Just being talking about it, good, I'm happy for them, but they were trying to put me down, saying you travel, your kind of lifestyle, I'm sure you wouldn't be able to lose weight. That was the last nail in the coffin, by the way, because first I've already made up my mind 50%. Now I have someone who also are instigating me. So this was something which generally pushes me to that last mile where I always make things happen. So I got pushed. I was like, okay, I'm not going to challenge you. In my mind, I up that, wait and watch my kids. You're going to see what's in store. See it now. So let me tell you this journey.